Scotland is perhaps best known for being one of the most stunning areas of natural beauty in the world. However, what it's less well known for is here, just 3 miles from the town of Helensburgh, in the waters of Gairloch Head, lies Her Majesty's Naval Base Clyde, home to the UK's Trident nuclear programme, including 4 Vanguard-class submarines, each armed with up to 120 nuclear warheads when deployed. Directly opposite the base, however, in constant protest against the nuclear weapons, lies this. I visited the camp for a total of 4 days in order to document what it's like to live in the Faslane Peace Camp. Despite there being a number of interesting individuals in camp who all had their own stories and journeys leading them to where their lives are now, it was Willemein who stood out as a colourful and enthusiastic guide for my time at the camp.
I don't want to make a long story. Okay, hello, I'm Willemein. I'm living at Faslane Peace Camp now for over a year. I'm from the Netherlands. And yes, I came to the UK in 2002. Is that, yeah, that's about me. And I was living in London, and then I decided I need to do something better with my life, and then I thought, let's go to Faslane Peace Camp, and that's why I'm here. And we protest against the nuclear industry, nuclear arms especially, because yeah, killing so many people with one press on the button is just not good.
As soon as I arrived at camp, Willemein was eager to show me around and give me an insight into the way the campmates live.
Now this is the beginning of the camp. Recently somebody has given us a boat and we are thinking about in the summer we go using it for get on the water. And here are caravans where guests or people that live here can stay. Yeah. This is the bunk bed bus. Where people that only want to stay for a night can stay in. I think. Just have a little peep inside. Huh? Yeah. Wow. Yes, so here is where people can stay if they only want to stay for a night. For when we have a festival or something. And yeah, so you can see we can how many people we can put in here. There's a little library of books we are getting and are donated. So, and this is about wood burning stuff. So when it gets cold, we can burn wood in it. Yeah, that's oh yeah. Here's a little part of our stack of paint for making banners and things like that. Here we have canoes, and when it's nice weather in the summer and there's a submarine coming in, we can try to block them or at least let them know that we are here, and that we don't like them.
Have you protested that before, the submarines?
Yes, but not on the water at that time, because it was an American boat, and the police warned us from, oh, they shoot with sharp if you come near. You think the police would stop them, but no, they don't. Yeah. I think this is the most important tree on the site. It was planted by survivors from Hiroshima. Now 30, I always have to count, 33 years ago. They planted in 85 and still going. And it makes me always think from horrible things happened there. Oh, I forgot the compost toilet, sorry. Yeah, here we have a compost toilet.
What's that used for?
For when you have to go to the toilet, and this we have two toilets. But this one is a compost toilet, and we have another normal toilet.
What's the difference?
Here the poo is stored, just falls on the ground, and we can make compost of it, or we don't have to. At least we don't have to put it in the sewage system. Let's say it that way. It's just a hole in the ground above the ground, and after you have done your poo, you just put some sawdust on top of it, and it will rot on the ground behind the wall. I'm a bit. I still like a bit of comfort. I mainly use the normal one, to be honest. Sorry. So, this is A cap, by the way. the side dog. Other times we have many more dogs, but at the moment we only have one. Yeah, you're missing the other dogs, eh? Missing your mom and your brothers and your sisters. So here on the roof we have our solar panels. You can see we have two big ones. And they go to a regulator, and from there we charge batteries and what we call them, accus for car batteries. And yeah, and that's how we get our electricity. That's the only electricity we have. When we were still, I heard when they started here, we also had electricity from the school, but yeah, the school is no longer here, so we don't have electricity anymore.
Only from the solar panel?
Only from the solar panel, and in the winter that is quite, it gets dark here around 4:30 at the moment, so we don't have a lot of electricity. We can only charge phones and batteries.
So what's this space?
This is our communal. Here we have our meetings and gatherings and communal meals. And yeah, we just recently built this about half a year ago. No, a year ago. Yeah. This is from the nuclear resistors, an action we did for Hiroshima Day. That is still going on. I am the one on the left, or on the right, sorry.
So what happened that day?
We blocked the road to the naval base, and of course we wanted to protest again, and we did that with lock-ons, that are the tubes between that.
Rather than Willemein simply explaining what happened, she insisted on taking me to the south gate of the naval base to give me a more vivid image of the events that transpired.
Here is where the road to the nursery is. So normally we don't block on where we were before, but we normally block it behind the road, so that we only block the people that want to go to the base.
So you don't want to disrupt the local people, you just want to disrupt the base?
Yeah, we don't want to disrupt people going to the nursery. Now here's a Gerlock head. We get a police boat following us again. And the hill there between behind is Coalport. There they store the missiles, and then they come to the base for repairs and other things. But we always think that some boats come with missiles straight to the base, but we can't prove that at all. On the day after Hiroshima Day, the 7th of August, we had a blockade here because we wanted to show them that people are still against the atom bombs and mass destruction. So we had 2 locks on and 3 people. One of them was me, and we were laying here on the road.
How long were you laying for?
About 2.5 hours, me. But others were laying here for 4 hours.
What do you think you achieved by doing that?
Now we did get some publicity for it. That not everybody thinks from, oh, atom bombs are a done deal, nobody cares about it. And also to show that the peace camp is still active and is willing to do direct action.
It was at this point we were stopped by the police, who had been alerted by the boat on the lock. They proceeded to delete all footage I had of the naval base, as well as take all of my personal details, essentially placing me under police surveillance for the 4 days I spent filming at the camp.
We just spoke to the Ministry of Defense Police, and they don't want us to go any further, and because we're friendly today, we won't go any further. The police here is Ministry of Defense Police, it's not Police Scotland, and we try to keep nice to them. So we supply this time we won't lay on the ground and we won't go to the base.
We're not going to get into trouble today.
We won't, no, today not. Maybe sorry, no trouble today. Maybe another day.
The police incidents continued for my 4 days at the camp, with footage consistently being deleted and warnings not to include any shots of the base issued at risk of legal action being taken against me. I returned to camp to ask Willemein about the aftermath of the protest. So what happened after you were unlocked by the police?
That's what they. I unlocked myself at 9 o'clock because at that time I thought if they go further, it just can get angry and things like that. So I decided at that point I unlocked myself.
So then what happened after that?
Yeah, no, first you were put in a police van. You don't have seatbelts in a police van, and then you went to jail, and in jail they offer you bail.
Mm-hmm. And you refused bail?
Yeah, then? I refused bail because the bail conditions, they don't. I think at that time they say you have to stay 150 meters from the base, but I already knew I would reject them because if you have to stay 150 meters from the base, you're quite handicapped here. Yeah. So you first go to jail, and then the next day you go to court. And in the court there was another bail offer now it was only 100 meters from the base, but then you have the same problems.
Yeah.
And I gave my 5 reasons to reject it, and I expected that the court would that we at the PF and the judge would talk about it and come to an agreement from what I could accept and what they wanted.
Yeah.
I thought we would have a discussion about the bail conditions and see what the procureur and the judge and I could agree on. But that was all not done.
You feel like you were unfairly treated?
Yeah. I thought we would discuss it, but no, it was no discussion. You go to prison. So then I was the first night in prison. Went to prison.
How long were you in prison for?
In total 29 days.
And how was that experience?
It is quite an experience. I was a bit prepared, but also some things where I'm not prepared because I first went to one jail and that was very open and you could just phone people from the phone.
Yeah.
And then the next prison, that was not possible.
Yeah. So do you feel like your actions were worth it? So
yeah, I still think it was worth it. And
what did you gain from the protest?
Now we gained publicity, and we hope that people still think about, those horrible weapons are still around, and also from that people, maybe they see me as an example now and do the same thing. That would be nice.
So you want to encourage others to take part in this?
Yeah, and then not only for any action they think useful, from if it's fracking or against racism, just be active. And you don't really have to be afraid for prison, but you need to be prepared.
I found Willemein's commitment to the cause admirable. Facing jail time to fight for ideals she strongly believes in exemplifies her dedication, alongside living at the camp non-stop for over a year in testing conditions, taking part in weekly protests, and having to deal with various legal troubles.
This is our kitchen. So we have a gas stove. We can make tea and make meals.
How is that powered? Through gas?
Yes, gas bottles. But we don't have, we call it what normal households have. In the meantime, you forget how normal people live here. We have an awful lot of pans and pots and knives and forks, because some people donate them, and other people leave them behind. So, but it's always handy. Here we store our bread and vegetables. So if we had things, then we have something to eat. Most food is, or we buy it. We have a kitty. And we buy it from the kitty or from donations, or sometimes people go skipping, and then that's where we live from. Here we have a normal toilet and a bathroom, but the bathroom is at the moment not connected. We had an old communal that was here, and from the stove we had water pipes going to the bathroom, but this communal broke down, and now we don't have hot water anymore in the bathroom.
Where is it you wash?
We have cold water, and we can heat water, and then you pan and you wash. Or sometimes we have friends nearby where we can wash and have a shower or a bath. And that's the way we do things. It's very basic, very much. Here we have our wood shed. When we get wet wood and it needs drying, then we can store it here for a year, and after a year it's dry and you can cut it up and use it for burning.
So you store it for over a year?
Now depends. Sometimes we always hope to store it for a year, but most times we need it earlier, but at least it's a bit dry then, and dry wood burns much better than wet wood. And this is again a bus where we can let many more people sleep for when they come.
Can we see inside that bus?
Yeah, why not? Let's go inside. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 places where people can stay. And every caravan has a wood burning stove, just so you can heat it up. And that's a bus. This is one of the caravans. We called it the 365 because it was donated when we had actioned Faslane 365, and that was a year long with every day a blockade or another action at the base. or against the base.
So this is a standard sort of caravan to live in?
Yeah.
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 Are they warm in the evening?
Now every caravan has a wood burning stove, as you can see on that side. So when we put wood in it and light it, it's nice, and it can get nice, cozy and toasty. Fun. Yeah. 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 So as you can see, there is a little stove that we can burn wood to keep it warm, and a bed where you can sleep, and some books that we need to sort out, and then the clothes, and that's how people live here.
So it's a very basic way of life.
It is quite basic.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, now I think I'm more here for the protests themselves, and how I live is not so important, so it is okay.
Despite the lack of luxuries we have all become accustomed to, my time at the camp was in fact enjoyable for the lack of these. Having to actively collect and chop wood for warmth, being completely disconnected from the internet and actually talking to all those at camp, as well as simply spending time in the outdoors, all made the experience so unique from the tech-oriented lives we all lead today.
From the area beyond here is from the Ministry of Defense. They just try to buy every field in the neighborhood, but they don't do anything it. From, if we can walk further,
why have they bought this?
To keep us out, I think, or to keep the Russians out, or whoever they want to keep out. They just want to buy. I think they just want to buy everything that is within so many miles of the base, and then they let it go to waste. As I will show you. We're heading to an old Catholic boys' school, and I heard that when they started the camp, we got electricity from them, but then the Catholics decided to sell to stop the school and sell it. And what I heard is that from the person they make that it shouldn't be sold to the Ministry of Defense, but the person they sold it to, a day later they sold it to the Ministry of Defense. And you can see, you can see they just let it go to waste.
How have they let it go to waste?
They don't do it. They don't do it. It's not in use. They just close the door, put metal plates before the doors, and they declared it a dangerous site. And it is a beautiful house, but nothing is happening, and it's just ruining. That's what they do here. It looks still nice, but what I heard on the inside is all rotten, and they just wait till it breaks down by itself. It's sad. Huh?
Do you protest against this?
Sometimes, not often, because nobody does anything about it. I'm not even sure if I don't think the building is listed, and doing things against the Ministry of Defense here is not very popular for some people. But it is a beautiful building. Huh? Yeah. If it was somewhere else, people would make sure that they kept it in a nice state, but here, just let it go to waste. We live in a beautiful place here, we will show, but yeah, it is with the nuclear arms here and the nuclear powered submarines, it makes it all bad. But Scotland is beautiful. Look at this nice river and the camp and the water and the loch. And then you think from all those weapons of mass destruction that are stored here, where people are trained to use them, it's no fun. It's not good. Yeah. This is the only point where we have where we can tap water at the moment. A bit overfilling. Well, normally it makes noise. No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've never tried to climb
No.
any of the fences?
No.
No? Have you ever tried to get into the base?
Not really.
No? You just like to block it?
Block it, and but I like to keep it friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if sometimes it's quite easy to get into the base, I will do it.
Yeah. What will you do in the base? Just hold up a banner, or?
No, let's try to talk to the people and explain that you're against it, and yeah, I'm not sure what we'll do. Probably they arrest you before you can do anything anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to think over what you can do if you stop straight away.
What other forms of protest do you do?
We have banners. We have every Wednesday afternoon we have a vigil from 4 to 5.
Whereabouts is that?
That's at the North Gate. We go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we have the Catholic workers that have a monthly protest. And we have the Quakers that come here about 6 times a year. They come tomorrow. Yeah, they do it at the North Gate, and we'll visit them.
Travelling to the Quaker meeting, I was unsure what to expect. Willemein had been very vague and wanted me to see it for myself, providing me with as little information as possible. This was what I was met with when we arrived.
I want to just do like a survey of things that are common on Scottish graves.
There are different traditions.
Because there's the other thing, the other business of erected by and tribute to, that you almost never see on English graves, and then in Scotland you get them all over. It's already looking like
going to work, isn't it?
Poor Tony Buchanan.
What's the meeting today? What are you doing? Is it just a silent protest?
It's not a protest, it is just meeting for worship.
Outside of the
military base, we do more or less on a monthly basis. Obviously this one's going to be a bit more meaningful for the fact that it's Armistice Day, but it's a witness thing. So we hold meetings anyway. It's just being there as much as anything.
Do you ever have any trouble with the police at your meetings?
Strange. Last
They're nosy rather than troublesome.
Yeah.
So they just come to
They
look, maybe?
go and ask names and take license plates and things like that.
Yeah, but they lost that night time.
night they didn't.
I wasn't here last time.
We think that was the weather, because the weather was so foul they were hiding. Like
But you don't
Yeah.
have to give your name.
No,
And they've
but
recently started telling you don't have to give your name,
Yeah.
but they didn't before. They used to just ask what it was.
No, they didn't. I've only been coming for 2 years. The first year they didn't ask for names. They didn't necessarily come and say hello, but they just sat in their car around the corner and watched. It's only this year that they started asking for names and being. But they've always taken car numbers, but maybe been a bit more discreet about it.
I still think it must be one of the most boring jobs. You just sit in a police car for an hour and watch a bunch of people do nothing.
So it's mainly just them being nosy rather than being against what you're doing?
Well,
I think it's
as an organisation, they're very clearly against what we do. As, you know, military police officers, they are much more.
the organisation doesn't like it. I think most of the police have been around long enough to know that we're not going to do anything.
So you're here today to show your displeasure with the nuclear weapons?
Not exactly. These meetings, as opposed to, for example, the Peace Camp up the road, are, we call it witness rather than protest. And it's, as part of our Quaker testimony to peace, we feel the need to be here and to witness to sort of show that we are observing and that we see what's happening, but we realise that nothing's going to change because we hold these meetings. And this isn't about showing that we disapprove, it's just that we are here.
Do you agree with the morals and the cause of the Faslane Peace Camp? So Willemein and all of the people
for the most
there?
part, at least, yeah. I haven't done as much reading or research into the history of the Peace Camp as I feel I should have, really, but what I know I'm happy with.
At the moment.
That's not his umbrella, because he's got his umbrella in his hand.
Oh, lovely.
And he's making a documentary.
Is that your favourite bag?
I made it. It's not my favourite bag, it's my Faslane bag.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
So what is it once more?
If war is the answer, it's a really stupid question. And this side says fly kites, not drones.
So you're firmly against nuclear missiles and nuclear
I'm
weapons?
against armaments in general.
All armaments?
All armaments.
Okay,
Unless you're shooting food.
okay.
Just fine.
I'm a farmer, basically. What?
So why are you here today? Why are you...
I'm here today because I'm a Quaker, I'm a member of the Iona community, and I'm a very firm believer in peace. I've taken part before my hip operation, I took part in 3 pilgrimages for peace. One London to Canterbury, one from the Israeli drone factory in Shenstone in Shropshire.
So are you against nuclear weapons?
I'm against all weapons.
All weapons?
Yeah, yeah.
I struggled to fully understand what was being achieved through the Quakers' silent meeting. However, watching them sit in the rain for over an hour in temperatures of 2 degrees Celsius helped me develop a respect for their cause and the ideals they are so dedicated to. How was that? Was that a good witness?
It was.
Yeah.
It felt good. It felt very peaceful. You know, sometimes you get people fidgeting a lot and stuff, but no, that was good. I'd do it again.
Did you find it peaceful?
There are times when it's peaceful and times when it's less peaceful. You move in and out of the peace. It's not a constant thing. But I think it's particularly poignant being somewhere like here. Yes, it's worth coming. A bit uncomfortable on these rocks, but it's worth coming.
Having spoken with some of the Quakers, it was clear that despite the weather, they enjoyed the meeting and were united in their cause for nuclear disarmament and ultimately world peace. How do you think the meeting went, or the witness?
I think it went nice. It's always nice to find people that think the same as you. And it was a bit raining, but it was nice. Nice talks.
What do you think it achieved?
Yeah, it's always difficult. But it's a community sense from, hey, we're not alone.
So you're not alone in your morals of nuclear disarmament?
Yeah. And it's also, meeting the friends again.
After travelling back from the meeting, I wanted to question Willemein on what the future holds for her and the camp. How long do you think you'll be living here?
I'm not sure yet. I think for quite some time, but we are quite. Yeah, I don't know how long. Till we have more people to take over, I guess.
Do you feel like you're having to look after the camp while others are away?
Yes. We want to keep it going. We want to have. We want to inform visitors. We want to keep the protest going.
Do you think if you weren't here, the camp would be shut down?
No, others. There's still others coming, and so it will go on. But it's nice that if visitors come, that there are people around, I guess. And that, we have to keep it going. And there's still nuclear arms, so there's no reason not to stay. There was a famous protest site at Greenham Common, and they got rid. They closed down when the cruise missiles went.
Do you think we'll ever reach a stage where there are no nuclear weapons anymore?
Let's hope so.
If that happens, will you shut this camp down?
Now maybe we make it a memorial site or something like that.
Having spent 4 days at Faslane Peace Camp, getting to know the intriguing individuals living here and experience what could be considered such a far cry from a typical modern society, the whole journey had left a profound mark upon my life. I felt honoured to have been welcomed into the camp with such open arms, in particular by Willemein, who is willing to show me every aspect, the community within, their ideals and their unique way of life. Willemein requested that the final message of this documentary be the value that she holds highest.
As long as there are nuclear weapons here, the peace camp will be here.